My name is Harlee Maddocks. I own a pediatric sleep consulting business while working full-time as a special education teacher. When I first started, I had made negative $3,000, and since then I have made $89,250 total.
What has building this business meant for your life?
I get to take my daughter on trips and actually be able to enjoy it and not have that sinking feeling in my gut every time I swipe my card.
You're officially at $30K for the year. So do you think you would have been able to teach your daughter these lessons if you hadn't started the business?
No, absolutely not.
So Harlee, why am I here today in the middle of the woods in Maine?
When I first started working with you, I had made negative $3,000, and since then I have made $89,250 total.
Who is the customer you're targeting?
I work one-on-one with families, helping them learn how to support their baby to sleep through the night. Babies want to sleep. They just need the support to get there. And we're not taught that. We're taught about childbirth and breastfeeding and all of that, but nobody teaches you what babies actually need to be able to sleep and do it well.
So we're coming up on how many years?
3 years.
Oh my God, that's awesome. So sleep training, I mean, this was a topic that I didn't even know was such a big thing. So when a mom comes to you, what is she going through?
She has been on Instagram. She's probably looked at the blogs, all of those things, and really conflicted about what's right and what's wrong, because everyone has an opinion about that. But she knows that she wants to sleep. She knows that it's not sustainable what she's doing right now. There are some families that are waking up to 8 times a night.
Wow.
Literally every hour. I had a family that was waking every 45 minutes. That's really where I was at. I remember driving home and I realized like I was falling asleep. And that was a big turning point for me. It felt like it was a matter of our survival to work on sleep.
When does this actually start becoming like a real business?
So like I said, the first year I made negative $3,000. I invested in another coaching program, but didn't really see any results from it. I had been watching your content for a while, and then there was just one night that I was just like, I want this to work. I've finally found something that I am wholeheartedly passionate about. And once I enrolled in your program, that's when it really started to become a business, not just like a hobby that barely paid me. So this is her room. She's 4.5 now, so obviously all of our sleep training things from those days are gone, except for the curtains and the shades. These are really ridiculous. They're just paper curtains. They're only $5, but I have tried the more expensive ones. They do not compare. Same with the curtains. These are literally what I tell my clients to get, and I still use them. So we love going on trips. This year was the 3rd summer that we've gone to Santa's Village in Storyland in New Hampshire, and she loves getting mementos from those. We line these up for her to look at, and they're really special to me because this is truly not something that she would have if I didn't have this business. It just financially wouldn't have been possible. So this is the board for the clients that I've worked with. It's really important to me that they're not just numbers. Of course I want to make money, and that's, you know, who doesn't? But they're actual people. Oh, yay. How exciting.
What has building this business meant for your life? Like, how has it changed?
I am able to do things and not have to really pull up my bank account and be like, can I afford it? So I want to have a nice garden. It's not necessarily a cheap thing to do, and I didn't have to think about it. I just go to the store with my daughter and buy the soil, buy the plants. I get to take her on trips and actually be able to enjoy it and not have that sinking feeling in my gut every time I swipe my card, like, how am I gonna pay this back? Because I know where the next client is coming from, and I know how I'm going to make this money back, so it doesn't scare me to spend it anymore, because the cap is what I make it.
So I'd love to do a little walkthrough of your Instagram content. Before you joined CCA, would you have described yourself as a creator?
Not at all. No.
What do you mean by that?
My clients really just came from word of mouth. Really nothing was coming from Instagram, and to be honest, I had no idea what I was doing anyways.
And what about now?
Almost all of it. I still sometimes get some word of mouth, but it's like once every few months. It's generally from Instagram.
So I thought it would be really interesting to break this video down here. So this piece of content did exceptionally well. Lots of leads for your business. What do you think worked so well about this piece?
I think one of the struggles that a lot of parents have, and I know this because I went through this struggle, I just happened to find this. I don't even remember why I came across these shades, but once I did, it completely blacks out the room, and it's only $5. You can get it literally anywhere. You can get it on Amazon, in person at Walmart, Target, Home Depot, Lowe's, anywhere. And a lot of parents don't realize that they don't have to spend a lot of money. And so I think that's kind of why that took off is it's affordable and it's super effective. And I still recommend it to my clients.
I think it's also an interesting piece of content because usually you'll see like influencers or people with like an affiliate link making a piece of content like this, but you're actually using it to drive leads. So when they come and hack, where does it go to?
So I have a ManyChat automation. They get the link to the shades, but they also get the link to the curtains that I love as well. Mm-hmm. And then from there, I go in and I use those comments as kind of that opener to reach out to people and start that conversation and see are they just getting the shades because they want the shades, or are they doing it because they're actually trying to figure out a way for their baby to sleep better.
How many viable conversations did you get out of this?
I would say a good 1,000 probably. And I think I gained about 800 followers from this post alone. It takes some time to really nurture them after this piece of content. And it was about a month later that I think in a 6-week period, the sprint, I can't remember what you called it.
Cash injection sprint.
Cash injection sprint. I ended up with 15K. And honestly, I think part of it was it came from this post because I had so many leads to talk to.
Now, this is another great one. It's kind of interesting, right? Because this has less comments, but it has high views, high likes, high visibility. But these people are probably going to be a little bit more nurtured. So how did you come up with this piece of content?
I used to stay away from newborn content because we don't sleep train in the newborn phase. But as I went through your program and I was really understanding how content works, how kind of that timeline looks, I realized that newborn content is actually really great because you have that built-in timeline to build a relationship with them. This one really works well because it's super relatable. Mm-hmm. In that newborn phase, babies tend to have this period of time where they just will not go to sleep, the witching hour. It's awful. But there are ways that you can help make it easier. And again, most people, they don't know these tricks. Nobody teaches it to us. So I think that's why that one went well, because it was something that they could actually implement right away and see the results right away.
Using the word you in a hook is super powerful, but also using the POV and then the word you, that's like a double power hit, in the hook. Plus, your daughter's beautiful eyes are just staring right at you as soon as you're engaged on the screen. So I feel like you did a lot of things well here where it's okay, yeah, it's a good idea for that target market. And then there's also that visual hook of that slight movement in the beginning, her eyes just popping out at you. And then using both the words POV and you. So you had 3 really powerful elements here.
Yeah.
So this is another great one. And one thing that I'm noticing as a trend in your content, which I love to see, none of this is fancy. It is literally so simple. It's you're throwing something into the crib. How did you come up with this?
So I remember making this one actually, and it performed really well. I think I got a lot of leads from this, sales calls,
good leads.
Kinds of leads. Yeah. So it was December 23rd. Mm-hmm. It's about traveling. It's a traveling hack. And so I thought about what are people going to need right now? What's something that's really going to draw them in? Literally just taking your baby's dirty crib sheet, and I say dirty as in it smells like their home, and bringing that and using that where you're saying, I was in a hotel room with my daughter and I just remember thinking oh, this would make good content. And I literally just pulled out my phone as I was getting her area ready, she was really big into her pacifier, which is why I had so many. Like you said, the visual hook of the pacifiers being tossed, but I really learned the different ways to hook people in to actually get them to read the content so they can identify if it, applies to them.
This is like a 3 to 5 second video and it's looping, but it's so simple. And I think the simplicity too makes it relatable, where like moms are like, I can't be the only one going through this, right? And I actually want to point this out because this is great. Here's the hack nobody tells you. Don't wash their crib sheet before you go. Like the way in which you write that copy, it's very like, I'm the expert, I'm the authority, like listen to me.
Yeah.
And this is something that is so hard to teach. And this is also too, again, if you're scared, like you're speaking to one person.
Yeah.
So how much time would you say you spent on making this video?
So in terms of the video editing, it really was only like 2 minutes. The caption itself, that takes a little bit more time because I am thinking about like, what do I need to say that keeps them wanting to read it? But even then it wasn't that long. I would say for this piece of content, the caption alone would be like 5 minutes.
So this is like the 7-minute reel.
Yeah.
You were just at your desk, you pulled up your email and you saw that you're officially at 30K for the year. So that puts you on track for doubling because that's what you did last year. What does that really mean for you?
I feel like I grew up with kind of this money scarcity mindset, and I never wanted to be the parent that was like, oh, we can't do that, we can't afford it, we can't afford it, we can't afford it. And while I don't want to make her a spoiled brat, I also don't want her growing up thinking that money is scarce like that, that you have to hold on so tight to it and never let go. I went to college, I got the 4-year degree, I went back for a certified for special education. I thought I had it all figured out, but here I am at 32 and I'm rewriting it all.
So do you think you would have been able to teach your daughter these lessons if you hadn't started the business?
No, absolutely not. I would still be solely on a teacher's salary and knowing exactly how much money I'm making that year and be pulling up the apps to be like, well, maybe let me see if I have the money to buy it.
So if you were speaking to a single mom right now that had that same itch that you were trying to scratch for so long, what would you say to her about investing in herself to start her business?
Do it scared. There's never going to be the right time. I think we're always waiting for that magical right time. Not just starting my business, but enrolling with you. I enrolled with you and 3 weeks later, I told my husband I wanted a divorce. And I knew there were going to be lawyer fees and I knew it was going to be this long court process, but you kind of just have to lean into that faith. My mom always said, Harlee, you're like a cat. You always end up landing on your feet. I've always figured it out before, and I'm going to continue to figure it out. So if this path doesn't seem to be working out, then I'll pivot and find a different one. But no matter what, the option to fail, it just isn't there. That fear of like not having the money on payday or like the day that it's due, it never happened. What I found is that our fear is way bigger than what the reality is going to be.
Harlee, it has been so awesome to just come into your home. Thank you for welcoming us into your home and seeing you just like in your element. I'm just visualizing you taking calls from here and working and being an amazing mom and doing all the things. So thank you so much for just being such a light and sharing your story to just inspire so many other people that are going to watch this and see what's possible for them too.
Thank you so much.